You think you're the safe one, the calm one, the cousin who wouldn't hurt a fly. But let me tell you something from up here in my tree. For most of history, when the other animals saw one of you coming, they ran. Not because you were big, not because you were strong. You were neither. They ran because your kind was, pound for pound, one of the most terrifying things that ever walked this planet. And by the end of this, you're going to understand why even I keep one eye on you. Let's get one thing straight first. On paper, you are pathetic. No claws, no fangs worth mentioning, thin skin that tears if you brush against a thorn. You can't climb like I can. You can't bite like a big cat. A chimpanzee my size can pull with several times the force you can. And I'm not even the strong one in the animal kingdom. If you dropped a naked human into the wild with no tools, most predators would look at you the way you look at a slow chicken. Easy, weak, lunch. So how did this soft, slow, clawless creature end up ruling the entire planet? How did you go from prey to the single most feared hunter on Earth? That's the story. And it starts with the one weapon nobody saw coming. Number 1, you never, ever stop. Here's the thing that should terrify every animal alive. Most predators are sprinters. A lion explodes into a burst of speed, and if it doesn't catch you in the first 30 seconds, it gives up, panting, overheating, done. Nature built them for a quick kill or a quick failure. But your ancestors were built for something far more sinister. Distance. There's an idea in science called persistence hunting. And while researchers still debate exactly how common it was, the picture it paints is nightmarish. Imagine you're an antelope. A group of these strange upright apes spots you. You bolt, easily, you're faster than them, and you leave them far behind. You stop. You rest in the shade, and then, over the hill, here they come again. Walking, you run again. You rest again and again. They appear. Walking, always walking, never sprinting, never stopping. Hour after hour, under a blazing sun, this thing that you outran 10 times keeps coming, following your tracks, reading the ground, refusing to quit. And here's the horror. You, the antelope, can't cool down while you run, but the human can. Which brings us to the next terrifying thing about your body. Number 2, you are built to hunt in hell. Your ancestors made a trade that no other large predator made. They gave up their fur. Now, losing your hair sounds like a weakness, but it was one of the deadliest upgrades in the history of life. Because bear skin, covered in millions of sweat glands, turned your ancestors into walking cooling machines. While every other animal on that savanna had to stop and pant in the shade during the hottest part of the day, your ancestors could keep going. Midday, peak heat, when the lions are asleep and the prey is sluggish. That was your time. Think about how disturbing that is. Your kind didn't just tolerate the worst conditions on the savanna. They chose them. They waited for the moment when everything else was too exhausted to fight back. And that's when they came walking. I stayed in the shade with the sensible animals. Your ancestors walked out into the fire on purpose. Number 3, you throw. This one, people forget, but it's one of the scariest things about you. Almost nothing else in the animal kingdom can kill at a distance with its own body. A predator has to close in, has to touch you, has to risk the claws and the horns and the hooves. But your ancestors developed a shoulder, an arm, and a brain wired to do something almost magical. Reach out and kill from far away. A human arm can whip forward and launch a rock or a sharpened spear with enough speed and accuracy to crack a skull or pierce a hide from meters away. No warning, no struggle, just a creature that can reach across empty space and end you before you even get close. To every other animal, this is basically a superpower. Imagine facing an enemy who can hurt you and you can't hurt them back. That's what your ancestors were, and they got better at it every single generation. Number 4, you do it together and you plan. A pack of wolves is frightening. A pride of lions is frightening. But your ancestors took cooperation to a level that broke the rules of nature. Because they didn't just hunt together in the moment. They planned. Before the hunt, in the dark, around a fire, they made a strategy. You go there, I'll drive it that way, we trap it at the river. They passed information across time, teaching the young what took a lifetime to learn, so that every generation started smarter than the last. No individual human is scary to a mammoth. But 20 humans who can plan, communicate, throw, and never tire? That's not prey anymore. That's the apex. Whole species of gigantic animals, creatures that had no natural predators for millions of years, met your ancestors and simply ceased to exist. Let me say that plainly, because it should sit heavy with you. Number 5. Everywhere you went, the giants died. This is the part that even I find hard to look at. Wherever your ancestors spread, a strange pattern followed them like a shadow. Before humans arrived, the world was full of giants, mammoths and mastodons taller than a house, ground sloths the size of cars, giant deer with antlers wider than a room, enormous flightless birds, marsupial lions in Australia, saber-toothed cats, cave bears, a planet ruled by monsters. And then your kind walked in. And within a few thousand years, again and again, on continent after continent, those giants vanished. Now, scientists still argue about how much of this was hunting and how much was climate change, and the honest answer is probably both, working together. But the timing is chilling. Australia's giants disappear, and humans had just arrived. The Americas' giants disappear, and humans had just arrived. It happened too many times, in too many places, right as your ancestors showed up, to be a coincidence. Think about what that means. Your species didn't just survive alongside the largest, most powerful land animals that ever lived. In many cases, your species is the reason we only know them from bones. You are the thing that ended the age of giants. Number 6. You adapt to anything. Here's what truly sets you apart, and honestly, what makes you the scariest of all. Almost every animal is locked to one home. Put a lion in the Arctic and it dies. Put a polar bear in the jungle and it dies. Every creature has its place, and outside it, it's helpless, except you. Your ancestors walked out of the warm plains of Africa and just kept going. Into freezing Ice Age Europe. Into scorching deserts. Into dense jungles, high mountains, frozen tundra where the temperature could kill you in minutes. And instead of dying, they looked at the cold and thought, I'll wear that animal's skin. They looked at the dark and thought, I'll take the fire with me. They didn't wait a million years to evolve for a new environment. They conquered it in a single generation using their minds. No other large animal has ever done this. You are the only big predator that can thrive absolutely anywhere on Earth. And that is a genuinely frightening thing to be.